Lloyd Howell resigns, NFLPA faces leadership crisis. In a surprising turn of events, Lloyd Howell Jr., the executive director of the NFL Players Association, NFLPA, has announced his immediate resignation following weeks of intense scrutiny and criticism. This decision was made public through a statement released by the NFLPA on Thursday. According to a source familiar with the situation, the NFLPA's executive board is set to convene shortly to deliberate on the next steps, which will include the appointment of an interim executive director. This resignation comes on the heels of mounting concerns regarding Howell's leadership, particularly allegations of a potential conflict of interest and reports that the NFLPA had entered into a confidentiality agreement with the NFL to conceal details about an arbitration ruling. Howell himself acknowledged in his statement, "It's clear that my leadership has become a distraction to the important work the NFLPA advances every day. I hope this will allow the NFLPA to maintain its focus on its player members ahead of the upcoming season." Interestingly, just last week, ESPN revealed that Howell was not only serving as the executive director of the NFLPA but was also working as a paid, part-time consultant for a private equity firm, the Carlyle Group, which had been approved by the NFL to seek minority ownership stakes in various franchises. Sources indicated that Howell joined the Carlyle Group in March 2023, several months prior to his hiring by the NFLPA in June of the same year. Notably, the NFL did not approve private equity minority investors until August 2024. Insiders familiar with the NFLPA's hiring process stated that the union's leadership was aware of Howell's consulting role during the hiring phase, and that both the NFLPA's legal team and an independent search firm had vetted his external affiliations to prevent any conflicts of interest. When the Carlyle Group had the chance to invest in the NFL, discussions regarding Howell's involvement took place. Legal representatives from both the NFLPA and the Carlyle Group concluded that Howell's work in the aerospace and defense sector was sufficiently separate from the firm's dealings with the NFL. The Carlyle Group later asserted that Howell had no access to information about the NFL. However, an NFLPA source contested certain aspects of the ESPN report, which claimed that an NFLPA attorney had suggested Howell resign from his position with the Carlyle Group. Other sources indicated they were unaware of any such request being made. In a show of solidarity, the NFLPA Executive Committee sent a message to its members supporting Howell. The statement read, "As members of the NFLPA Executive Committee, we categorically reject false reports insinuating doubts within this committee or suggestions that we have asked our executive director to step down. We further reject attempts to mischaracterize the committee's views or divide our membership. We have established a deliberate process to carefully assess the issues that have been raised and will not engage in a rush to judgment. We believe in and remain committed to working with our executive director and other members of the NFLPA staff and player leadership who have a shared mission to advance the best interests of players." Howell's departure marks a significant moment, occurring just 2 years after he took on the role and before he could negotiate his first collective bargaining agreement, which is set to expire in March 2031. In his statement, Howell expressed pride in the accomplishments achieved during his tenure, stating, "I will be rooting for the players from the sidelines as loud as ever, and I know the NFLPA will continue to ensure that players remain firmly at the center of football's future." This resignation is just the latest in a series of controversies surrounding the NFLPA. Earlier this month, reports surfaced indicating that the NFLPA had entered into a confidentiality agreement with the league to obscure details about an arbitration agreement. This agreement revealed that league executives had pressured team owners to lower guaranteed player compensation, although an arbitrator ruled in January that there was insufficient evidence of collusion. The NFLPA has confirmed plans to appeal this ruling. Additionally, a month after the collusion ruling, an arbitrator ruled in favor of the NFL in a grievance filed in 2023, which accused the NFLPA of advising players to feign injuries as a tactic during contract negotiations. This grievance was based on comments made by J.C. Tretter, the former union president and current NFLPA chief strategy officer, who suggested that players could fake injuries to avoid practice while negotiating new contracts. The NFL had reported the results of this ruling to club personnel and ownership during the March league meetings. Howell was the fourth leader of the NFLPA since the league's merger in 1970, succeeding DeMaurice Smith, who led the association from 2009 to 2023. The NFLPA began seeking new leadership after members expressed dissatisfaction with Smith's management during CBA negotiations, with Smith narrowly surviving a vote for a fifth term in 2021. The NFLPA appointed Howell in 2023 after a hiring process that faced criticism for its lack of transparency. Prior to joining the NFLPA, Howell spent 34 years at Booz Allen Hamilton Incorporated, where he served as chief financial officer. Like his predecessor, Howell did not have a background in sports. He holds a BA in electrical engineering from the University of Pennsylvania and an MBA from Harvard. Meanwhile, federal investigators are looking into certain sports union officials and one-team partners, a company that licenses athletes' name, image, and likeness rights. 5 sports unions, including the NFLPA, which holds a 44% stake, are involved with one team. Concerns have been raised by an NFLPA official regarding the potential for union officials to profit from one team, prompting the NFLPA to hire an external firm to conduct an investigation last winter. At that time, Howell was serving as a board member of the company as part of his leadership role within the NFLPA.